Hey everyone, so Sean back to the video, and we have the new rotation of the boss. It's going to be the Shadow Captive. We're going to go ahead and dive into the fights, dive into the abilities, and check it out. And hopefully we can get an understanding. I'll probably have a video on how to get Triple S soon, but first we're going to talk about just my initial impressions of the boss and what kind of strategies are going to help you out. Let's jump into it. So first things first, we're going to have two of the same boss, just like last time, and we're going to get the Sacred Heart scaling, just like last time. After one move, or after 3 moves, it's going to get bonus. After 5 moves, it's getting another bonus. Now, the question is, what is Doom Mark? It says grant Sacred Heart and 1 Doom Mark attack bonuses each round from the start of battle. I'm not exactly sure what that means. We'll have to figure out what Doom Mark actually does. But the Elemental Power, the one that reduces damage, is now if you have struck by fewer than 6 instances of damage by the start of the turn. So it looks like poisons is not going to work because that's the end of the turn. I guess maybe that's like transfers to the next round perhaps. And then ignites and bleeds seem to also work for this in regards to instances of damage. So we're looking at multi-hits, we're looking at bonus turns, we're looking at any form of instance of damage. I imagine ignites and bleeds will work. We'll have to try that out. And then we have Plague Attack. It deals damage to an enemy and grants immune to this character. And then Plague Source damages all enemies, removes all negative effects from this character, and then deals damage to all enemies. Damage scales with the number of stacks of Doom Mark on all targets. So it looks like we're going to need Cleanser, we're going to need multi-hits, and we don't want to rely on negative effects too much because they are going to grant themselves immunity, and they're going to remove negative effects. So it seems to me that you don't really want to rely on that because it's going to be unreliable. So we'll have to go ahead and check this out. We're going to beat Common really, really easily, but let's just go ahead and run this. My characters are not geared here, so we're definitely not going to do a crazy amount of damage, but I just want to see how everything works and kind of give an explanation on what I think are some solid characters to bring into some of these fights. So let's see. We're going to start out here, and the boss actually looks really, really fast. So I believe my William is at like 180 speed, if I remember correctly. So that's going to be tough to get through. Now, we did get a bunch of poisons on ourselves. Let's see the basic here. Let's see. Doom Mark deals damage based on max health at the end of the round. Okay, so that's what Doom Mark does. And it grants 1 Doom Mark, 3 Doom Mark, and then 5 Doom Mark. Got it. And then the Sacred Heart also increases the damage. No big deal. We're going to go ahead and just apply the counterattack. Let's just see how much damage it actually deals at the end of the round. I'm very curious to see. It looks like we have the same lag problem as we did earlier, which is a little unfortunate, but that's okay. Oh, we actually almost killed the boss right there, so we probably won't be able to see the damage that we actually are taking. Okay, oh, looks like we took 1100 damage from the Doom Mark there, so that's important to note. Okay, we're going to take some Doom Marks. Looks like you can immune it from the ability immune, and I imagine immunity works as well. We have Elemental Revival. What is that? Grants elemental power at the start of the turn if fewer than 6 attacks have been dealt to this character. Okay, so at least it gives you a counter for how many attacks. So obviously if you're not going to get the maximum of attacks, you're going to struggle. So that's 4, and this is going to be 5. Okay, so we're going to get the elemental power showing up here. Boom. And applies another stack of Doom Mark. It looks like they just stay on for a long time. I'm not sure how long. But let's just go ahead and keep going here. I don't have any damage on any of these characters, so this is probably going to take a little bit. But at least we're getting a sense of sort of the mechanics in the boss in order for us to kind of create a squad. We can go ahead and put the bonus turn up with EFD here, and we could probably get this down to, or up to 6 here, so we don't have to worry about it. I don't think this works like a normal debuff. Let's see. No, it does not. So you're not going to be able to do extra damage or extend the actual elemental revival here. So we're going to get up to 6 here. And that should prevent us from getting the elemental power buff on the enemy. Let's see here. There's the immunity on him. We'll try out ignites in the second round so we can figure out if that counts. It is a little laggy, which is unfortunate because I'm trying to count all the numbers and stuff, but it just lags out in front of the hits and things like that. So okay, so there's the first difficulty down. I kind of got the mechanics. We'll go ahead and run a cleanser, and we're going to go ahead and run someone who pops, ignites, and bleeds, so we can figure out whether or not that actually applies, and if that actually ends up cleansing. So let's go ahead and just run some actual damage dealers here. along with our squad. We're going to run Opal like we did before. Now we're going to drop Celestial Cane because I do have a Celestial Cane A5. I imagine Celestial Cane is going to come in handy here. And we can go ahead and drop Asrina here. And then for the second one, I'll just drop whoever I have geared here in order for us to get through the battle. Okay, cool. Hopefully this is good enough in order for us to actually beat the boss here. I think it will be, but we'll see. So we're going to run in here, and the boss is going to hit. And when the things apply, it looks like it cleansed beforehand from Celestial Cane. And the passive will only take effect once per turn. So next round, when we go ahead and get hit, we'll have to see if it cleanses off these doom marks. We have, let's see, we have 1 or 2 ignites applied. So if ignite works, how I guess we got a bunch of multi-hits from Opal. That was a little unfortunate because we had too much damage, I guess. But I guess we'll have to find out in just a moment. I'll come back to this so we can figure out what the ignites work. So we're now into Mythic mode, and we can look here. Okay, we're immune to poison, so poison doesn't work. An unhealable effect, got it. So can't use poison anyways, even if you wanted to. I was wondering if that was still the case for this one, and it looks like it is. So we have a couple of ignites applied. We're going to get some joint attacks here. Let's just go ahead and keep hitting here, and we'll have to wait to the second round because Opal is going crazy here with the joint attacks. I guess I should have basic just to check. But we're going to get the 6 hits anyway, so we'll have to find out here. Now let's go ahead and just heal up everyone. And it looks like we did cleanse away one of the doom marks. There we go. So there's one application of the Elemental Revival. There is 1 ignite on the boss. So let's see here. Elemental Revival. We took a damage from... Okay, so it looks like it won't work. It didn't like stack. I don't think ignites will work. We can go to try to run it again for more conclusive tests, but I just don't think it will. It doesn't look like it will. So let's go ahead and just try to get as many ignites on as possible. Hopefully we get like 4 ignites here, just so we can really test it. Okay, we got 0 ignites here. So let's back out here and just try that again, because I want to see if it does work. It doesn't look like it will, and that's pretty unfortunate, because if you can't use ignites and you can't use bleeds, then you're going to have to use any sort of multi-hit. So Opal is a solid choice. People with counterattacks, people with multi-hits, joint attacks, things like that. So Marion Shadowblood, Garel, Williams, Opals, things like that are going to be solid in order for us to make sure we don't get that 50% damage reduction. And it looks like the cleansing does work for these two. That's what it looked like from Celestial Cane. I'm not sure why it cleansed Asarina, but not himself. I don't know what's going on there, but we're in a basic here. And that's going to put Elemental Revival 2 on. And we're going to go ahead and try to apply a bunch of ignites here. Hopefully we get at least 1 more ignite. We got 2 more ignites. So if this ignite works how I thought it would at the beginning, then we should not get the buff on the boss here. Nope, you still get the 50% damage reduction buff, so that is unfortunate. And we did get cleansed off the doom mark here. Opal cleanses herself, so she's probably super good for this with her passive here. Sorry, on her basic passive here. When we're basicing, we're going to remove the negative effects, so she's really solid. And she's going to have the joint attacks. Celestial Cane seems like a cleanser. Mary seems like a cleanser. So what you're going to want to do is just run cleansers in order to remove the doom marks so you're not dying. You're going to want to run multi-hitters, joint attackers. So off the top of my head, it's going to be Mary. It's going to be Celestial Cane. If you have Blackhorn, he could be a very solid option as well. Try to think of what other cleansers are there in this game that are pretty common. You could run single target cleansers, I guess, in regards to like Mythasia. I don't think there's really any really good cleansers outside of those characters that I mentioned. Really, it's just Celestial Cane, Mary, and Blackhorn. Hopefully you have 2 of those 3. You could run Joseph, I guess, for the bonus turns if you wanted. Let me know in the comments down below if there's any like AoE cleanser that I'm kind of missing here. But I think those are the main ones. And then for joint attacks, I think that Marion Shadowblood is going to be good if you have her. Aurak will be excellent. He's going to double hit on every single turn. Something like William will be solid. I wouldn't recommend Antinua, even though she does hit twice on basic because you're not going to be able to keep up her passive, which is where she does big damage. Jacob could be really solid. As Serena, honestly, she has a counter attack as well. Opal's really solid. Something like Freya could be with a joint attack. Bonus turns will be good as well. Things like that. Garel. So anything like that is going to be very, very good for this boss because just like the previous one, you do not want to have that 50% damage reduction on the boss. It's going to hinder your damage a lot. So those are the mechanics. Those are kind of the intricacies. It's a very simplistic boss, very similar to what we thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be something to do with AoE cleansing in regards to debuffs, and it was Dumark, and it looks like multi-hits is kind of the unique mechanic for elemental power, and debuffs don't really work because of the immunity and cleansing of his own negative effects. So keep that in mind when you're building a comp. I'll be experimenting on stream as this video goes live. I'll be on stream. We'll be going to go ahead and test this, see if we can go ahead and create a triple S comp. As soon as I create a triple S comp, I'll go ahead and make a video about it. But until then, I will see you for the next one.